Welcome to the world of Pokemon. A world where you'll find the most unlikely of creatures become some of your greatest friends. This is a Pikachu, an electric type Pokemon. It's known to be docile and extremely affectionate towards its owners, but can also send out jolts of electricity so powerful, Zeus himself can get a hard on. In this world, there are people called Pokemon trainers, whose sole purpose is to enslave these monsters and battle them against one another until the other faints or is ultimately killed, much like a dogfight. This particular trainer has been looking for a Pikachu, and with luck, today could be the lucky day where he finally catches one, as long as his heart is in the right place and shows nothing but love towards the Pokemon. And a lot of money to buy a crap load of Pokeballs, because there's no battling wild Pokemon. You just gotta throw the Pokeballs at him. Just gotta keep tossing them, and when you run out, you just gotta buy more. Gotta buy more Pokeballs. Pokemon, let's go capitalism. What a piece of shit. Initially, I think a lot of us thought that the new Pokemon game wasn't going to be that great, but after playing it for a little more than 20 hours, I gotta say, it's actually pretty fucking good. I mean, it's not perfect, and I don't know for sure if it's worth the $60, maybe $40, but I was surprised by how good the game really was. It completely blindsided me because I thought that this game was going to be just a throwaway quick buck of a rehashed yellow version. In fact, I wasn't even going to get this game, but decided to buy it anyways to just see how bad it would be. But somehow Game Freak outdid themselves with this remake of Yellow. I mean, sure, you could chalk it up to nostalgia goggles, maybe, probably, but I've had a really hard time putting this game down. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee has a lot, and I'm gonna emphasize that. A lot of charm to it. From starting up the game and seeing Pikachu run around, it's fucking adorable. Oh my god, it's fucking adorable. I'm gonna fucking die from health. To watching every Pokemon you catch follow you around, this game has a lot going for it. I would go faster, but if I go over 2 miles per hour, the Snorlax will explode. I mean, the fact that you can take out a Magikarp and just have it flop around right alongside you, gasping for breath, and every time it sees water, it's like, oh please God, put me out of my misery, is frankly awesome. It's weird because there's so much thought and love that went into this game that even its shortcomings, they don't even feel that bad. The whole catching Pokemon thing or the XP share, it's completely fine for me because it's a remarkable game if you grew up playing the original Pokemon games. In fact, it's a great game if you're just a fan of Pokemon. Watching Bill come out of his transformation scene in a reimagined way made me hype as fuck. Seeing the Cubone storyline play out made me tear up like a pussy bitch boy. The game feels so alive and lets go with additions to Yellow that were surprisingly really good. Being able to pet your Pikachu or Eevee, it's great. Just give him a little rub on the head. He's a good boy. Look at him, good boy. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you like that shit? Yeah, you fucking like that shit, you stupid bitch. Now, although I think Let's Go Pikachu is fantastic and a great fan service, that doesn't mean it doesn't have its flaws. At times, the game can be pretty easy and not that challenging. Except honestly, I don't remember the Pokemon games ever being challenging. The only challenge I ever had in the wait, hold on. That is the most sexual Persian I've ever seen in my life. The only challenge I ever had in the franchise was trying to complete Sun and Moon because it was so fucking awful. You could always just pick up your starter Pokemon and just have it hard carry you throughout the entire game, no problem. But if you wanted to add just, you know, like a little bit more spice to the gameplay, you could definitely add different types of Pokemon to your lineup and level them up evenly. Whatever, man, it's your life, just live it the way you want to. I'ma just be here with my level 100 Blastoise who's buff as fuck. Just don't look at my level 10 Pidgey. It's only there so I can use Flying Cut. The first couple of hours is pretty easy, but as time goes on, the trainer battles become a little bit more difficult. Not crazily difficult where you'll have to grind levels for 2 hours, but difficult enough. And, you know, we'll talk about that more a little bit later. Because even though this game lacks any real challenge before facing the master trainers after you defeat the game, that doesn't mean it's not good. This game is supposed to welcome new people to the franchise because honestly, you know, I bet the half of you didn't even play the original Blue and Red when it first came out in 1998. Not the remakes and not on a virtual console, but held on the original Game Boy in your hands and played Blue and Red without the internet to help you learn the types of weaknesses to push into your fragile 5-year-old fucking brain. I feel like that's what this game is made for. I remember Christmas morning opening up that perfectly packaged Pokemon Blue and that fat ass fuck brick of a Game Boy. I opened that shit up, I was like, fuck yeah. If my 5-year-old body could, my dick would have been so rock goddamn fucking hard. One big gripe people have with this game is that you don't fight Pokemon you run into, which honestly, I don't really mind at all. It's actually kind of therapeutic, especially when the motion controls don't work and you swing your Joy-Con so hard it breaks the fucking sound barrier. You know, it's very relaxing. God forbid a Pokemon goes off to the corner of the screen, you'll probably waste a couple $100 just throwing Pokeballs hoping that one of them lands on the Pokemon. You fucking snide as fuck son of a bitch. I wasted so many goddamn Pokeballs just because the motion controls didn't pick up correctly. And even when I found out they could use the Switch as a handheld console in order to better control your aim, I still missed using the Joy-Con to toss the ball. It's oddly fun to do, and if you're playing with your friends, it's a great way to watch people miss the Pokeball, and when it lands, it's so gratifying to watch it catch the Pokemon. Even seeing the 3 ticks of the Pokeball on a television screen with the camera zooming in, what an ode. Very satisfying. But just catching the Pokemon isn't the only satisfying part. Let's Go added a new mechanic to the game where you can create a chain combo for catching the same Pokemon, which then gives you a bunch of benefits for your Pokemon, right? So chain catching a Pokemon does a couple of things. It increases the chance of a rare Pokemon to spawn, increases the chance of a shiny Pokemon to appear, makes a Pokemon that you're chain catching have better stats the more that you combo them, gives you a fuck ton of experience, gives you candy you can use to increase specific battle stats for any Pokemon you want, and also gives you candy specific to the Pokemon you're chain catching that increases all of its stats by 1. This game is probably the easiest and most enjoyable way of catching shiny Pokemon that has ever been created in the series. And it's purely just off of how hype you get seeing one spawn, which is vastly enjoyable. Walking around and seeing a rare Pokemon spawn is a huge plus to this game, and I hope they introduce this kind of method in the main series. The encounters are still random to a degree, but being able to pick and choose which Pokemon you want to interact with is a huge plus.
Oh my god! There's no way! There's no way! There's no way!
There it is! There it is! It's right
Shutty
there!
Chansey!
Oh,
Use the
yeah.
Shutty
It's
Chansey!
right
You want to
there.
catch it?
Oh,
Make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. Oh. Alright. Well, this shit just got weird. You know, I can excuse the catching versus fighting wild Pokemon scheme because it's different and, you know, it's refreshing. The battling, though, is kind of way too easy. My Pokemon were just way too high of a level once I got to the 6th gym leader, to the point where every attack was like a one-shot. Now, that could just be something that happened to me, but the battling seems just a little bit too easy, especially since they buffed the fuck out of your Eevee and Pikachu. I mean, giving Pikachu the ability to learn a water, flying, and fighting type move, come on, come on. I mean, it's cute as fuck. Splishy Splash is very, very adorable. And I mean, like, this move alone, Zippy Zap. This move always goes first, and it always critically hits. What? Even Eevee can learn all of the elements. I mean, like, come on. Come on. Come on. However, they did make weaknesses and resistances a lot stronger in this game. If you're fighting someone and your Pokemon are about the same in stats, choosing the right weakness or resistances will make the fights a lot easier. Your Pokemon could have the same stats, and if you choose the right weakness, you'll one-shot the enemy Pokemon, so you have to kind of pay attention. All the legendary Pokemon you have to fight though, which is still nice, but it's more like instead of getting them low and then capturing them, you just have to outright kill them and then throw your Pokeball at the Pokemon. That was a nice little spice, little into the game, little very good part of the game. I like it. Good job. Meme review. Battling wouldn't be that bad if, you know, the experience you gain from it wasn't ass garbage. You could play the game without battling any trainers and just focus on catching Pokemon and you'll level up just fine. However, you gotta battle the trainers because it's the only way to make fucking money in this game, and you're gonna spend a fuck ton of it on Pokeballs. You're gonna spend so much money on fucking Great Balls and Ultra Balls, and that's it. Those are the only balls. They give you Premier Balls, but I don't know what the fuck you're supposed. I just sell them back. They're fucking useless. I know, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Pokemon makes their money off of children. It's not that difficult to understand. Pokemon has always made their money off of children. The one time they tried to make their money off adults was with Black and White, and that sold horribly. So let's go Pikachu and Eevee. Surprise! Is made primarily for kids and people to get started with playing Pokemon. However, they still stayed true to the people who love the franchise already, and that's what makes this game so much fun. Even with the new catching system, there's enough meat in this game to get the Pokemon lover in you excited to pick up a Joy-Con and try to catch your favorite Kanto region creatures. I mean, for God's sake, the second player option feels like it was literally made so you can have your kid play alongside you while you revisited your childhood, since they can't do anything in the game at all. They just walk around just like, oh, look at me, oh, and fucking just waste all your goddamn Pokeballs. If you're looking for the next main series game, Let's Go Pikachu is obviously not for you. If you're looking for a game that's a fan service for the years of staying with the franchise, Let's Go is a great addition to the family. And I wouldn't even mind seeing this series made more often for the older games. In fact, I would love to play Silver and Gold like this, or even Ruby and Sapphire. I mean, like riding a Lugia or an Entei? Hell yeah, sign me the fuck up. $60 though? That's a pretty steep price. Lower that by 20 bucks and hell yeah, let's do it. You can even make it a DLC for this game. I wouldn't mind that. I'd suck your dick. There are things that this game did right, and there are things that it didn't. I enjoy how they made IV hunting a lot easier and not so grindy. The candies are an awesome addition I'd like to see be added into the main series, and the biggest enjoyment I've constantly gotten is seeing the Pokemon in the overworld. So I think that this game is great if you grew up playing the original Red, Blue, and Yellow as a kid. The nostalgia is a really big drive for this game, so if you grew up and your first Pokemon game was Ruby or Sapphire, I can see why this doesn't appeal to you too much, since you didn't grow up with the original 150 and would have probably loved to see the later generations. Or you know, maybe instead of catching all the Pokemon, you caught a fine ass lady and now boom, woo, you got a kid. And you want to introduce them to the series together. This game is an awesome way to do that. However, because it's only the first 150, this game won't appeal to a lot of new players unless they have an open mind about it. The $60 price tag is also a little bit too much, and the difficulty is slightly on the easy side, where it could have just been, you know, just a tad bit harder. So, unfortunately, I'm not gonna give this game my seal of approval, even though I love it. But I will give the game a big thumbs up and say that if you have the money laying around and enjoy Pokemon for Pokemon, or if you grew up playing the originals, I think you should pick it up and relive what it was like playing Pokemon when you were a kid.